But all right, ask you a couple questions. If you want to type it out, that's fine. If you want to talk, that's fine as well. But I just have some basic questions for you. Firstly, being, I mean, should be quite clear for you, but what can the mentor team do to help you more?
Uh, Mentor team can actually. I think it's better if they repair people for people that actually is on most Labor Day, and who that's not on certain times. If I think if they actually get together and see what time which people's on and compared it to which time the mentees are on, it would be uh, better organized, I may say.
Sure, I agree. This new system was put in place to more or less match people. It's kind of bringing back the old mentor system where you're just assigned to one mentor, but those mentors are given the aid of other mentors to take their productivity when they do not contact an individual for over 3 days, which was the case with you. I don't know how he's not getting on and matching with you, so that will be obviously we'll speak to him because everyone's kind of assigned here to work in terms of their time zone, with individuals at the, where it's more convenient for them to get in touch. Obviously, an EST boy like myself isn't going to be assigned to someone who's GMT, just due to the gap in time zone there. But yeah, that's definitely something that'll be worked on. It's just more or less, it sucked that this system was kind of put in place halfway through your trial mod phase because it kind of set us back a little bit because we just started this back up, so there's going to be bugs and flaws and stuff that kind of need to be worked out. So at least you're getting it now better than ever, but you do have another week, I believe. So in the training itself, what can we improve on?
Training itself.
Yep, for the team when you got trained for trial moderator.
I really don't think there's anything to improve on. Everything that you'll train on literally actually worked.
Beautiful. Okay. Have you had any problems? I know you haven't been checked up on in a little bit now. Have you had any problems since the 27th, I believe, was when you were last checked on? Or anything that you didn't report then now?
The confusing on some situations when it's dealt with about not dealing with big YouTubers that come on the server, stuff like that. I've been
Sure.
told by a couple people about mentions and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Big YouTubers not to deal with it because they record and they get other people in trouble. That's just what confuses me.
So, when you're saying big YouTubers, you mean like Beepty Bops?
Yes.
Okay, and him being on, how to deal with him when he's on?
Yes.
So, this is a difficult task to deal with, especially as a trial moderator, because there's not a huge amount you can do. What I'd say personally, what you could do, if there's any COC up, get as high as you can in terms of COC, and eventually you want to take this up to an HA just so they can get on and deal with it, or an EA or whatever. They're more or less the ones that have the experience, and they've been here long enough to at least have had at least one other counter with this guy. Typically, how we handle it is we'll go in shadow or no clip and vanish, and we'll watch around, see how he's conducting himself. Most of the time, especially now because he's been here multiple times, he'll start off kind of slow, or he'll try to be discreet about things and just play it out, just to kind of get the evidence or footage he needs without getting caught as soon as possible. But anytime you can confirm that it's him, you need to bring that up immediately so it can get up to an EA, to an HA, sector lead, division leader, or if they're on. But it needs to get up to high or server leadership most of the time. Okay. There's not a lot you can do. All you can do is just play your role, enforce the roles. If you need to watch over him a little bit, I don't agree with you walking around and hunting him down the whole time. Just kind of play it out. If you come across him, keep an eye out on him. You're MP, so you kind of have that excuse to watch over people who are being dumb. So that makes it easier for you. But just kind of watch over him. If he ever breaks a role, then you can handle that immediately to kind of keep him out of, this field of minges is the idea, because they're all followers for the most part, the people who come on to minge with him. So getting him out of the picture will kind of cut them down a little bit. Well, good. So I see you've been taking a huge amount of tickets. Training's good. So that's beautiful. Do you have any goals in terms of where you're at right now? What are your goals?
I'm trying to actually get to 200 tickets before the end of my trial mod period,
Sure.
before I either become a moderator or get removed or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get 200. That's my goal. And then training, I'm just trying to have at least 20 to 35.
Deal. And you're already doing good. Considering the fact that your mentor hasn't really checked in on you in quite some time. Do you think you would have been doing a lot better right now, or would you have been in a very good state if that mentor was checking up on you?
I think most of the situations that I have done that I had to ask other people about,
Sure.
if he was on, I think that would have been. I wouldn't have to go to COC for a second opinion every time.
Yeah.
I could have dealt with it myself if he was on, because he would have been there to actually explain everything out. But not everything being explained, all the situations, and just me having to figure it out. I think that's what's pushing me through, trying to actually get me better, is me being by myself and actually just doing it.
Yeah, it would just be more preferable if you had a little bit of an aid with you sometimes, which I do suggest, on that behalf, because if, how you're viewing it is great. Your mentor, this whole system is set up so that, you are assigned to a mentor, but the overall program is to help mentors mentor other mentees. So, if he's not checking in on you in those 3 days, everyone else is supposed to be contacting you. I really don't know if there's a bug, if I'm just missing something here. But if you're saying you haven't been checked in on in quite some time, that's what's catching me off guard here, because everyone's supposed to, get a hold of you at that point. I don't really know what happened there. Anyways, we do have that mentee chat, mentee questions. If you ever do come across a question that's, past COC, because, making COC tickets is the whole point with staffing. Mentor isn't here to remove COC. If you have questions and you COC up, that's normal. But your mentor is supposed to be there for aid, and if you ever have a more serious question, they're supposed to be, there as a source for you to contact. But that's not always the case. So if you need to use that mentee questions or mentee chat section in the Discord, you have that, right? You have the bot role there, and you have that section.
Yes.
Yeah, you can always use that, and that's checked in on every time I go to check on the whole mentor section on Discord. I always run through that real quick just to see if things are being spoken about that need to be answered, or if they've been answered or not, stuff like that. That's good then. Honestly, you performed very well with your test here. The only minor problems were the whole you don't need points to capture, or you don't need to capture a lot of points to get a solo raid. And then what's KOS? That is important though. I would make sure it was which one was it? Can't remember the specific question. Let me pull it back up real quick. Midweek, here it is. Oh, that's not it.
Whenever you get a chance, can you take the dishes down, Vinny?
Sure.
Okay. And get me a drink.
Alright. Give me a moment here, sorry about that. Where's it at? Oh, here it is. Okay. On this list, what is considered KOS if an INS is holding it? Radio, knife, gun, cat gun. If a civilian is caught, using a defibrillator to revive a confirmed target, that makes him KOS as well. All that kind of stuff. So there's situational things where, in this case, you can be considered KOS if you're using them in a specific manner, but just having them out, no. The only ones that are considered KOS is a knife, radio, gun, and cat gun. Okay? So that's important. That'll help you out in, more situational RDM sits, in the case that happens. You never know. But that's how that works out, okay?
Okay.
Alrighty. Before I let you go, do you have absolutely any questions for me? This could be related to anything. It doesn't matter. I just want to make sure that you're all good to go. And, if I leave you off here and you're not contacted again in the next 3 days, that you'll at least be good until I get back to you. Because I'll make sure to run through TeamSpeak and in-game. Sometimes Discord, I'll at people just to try to get a hold of them. But, if you're not contacted in the next 3 days, do you have any questions to kind of prepare you for that?
I'm trying to think.
That's fine. If you don't have anything, it's fine.
It's fine.
I mean, we got
Okay.
CFC, like I said, staff chat.
Yeah. So, another HA, they kind of get on to me about an RD incident, which because is there like a time that someone has to follow U.S. orders to get off the roof, or if they're following the orders but it takes a bit longer time? Because another HA kind of told me that with an RDM, even though it was taking a bit of time to get off the roof.
I'm confused. What do you mean?
In the battlefield, it's over by the gas station. There's a rooftop.
Yeah.
And a US was telling a INS to get off the roof, but it was on a confirmed IS that they know. He was following the orders. He went to jump off the roof, and then they just shot and killed him.
So how that works? INS always need to follow orders, or civilians. Sorry, civilians need to always follow orders from the U.S. If he's on the roof, in that case, he could have backed up, pulled out his gun, and then shot and killed him there if he was hiding, and it wasn't like a crazy VRP situation. But if INS or civilians are not following strict orders from the U.S., they can be deemed killed as long, in a situation that he's sitting up on a roof and stuff like that. That's suspicious enough for reasoning to order him around. So, yes, that's fine.
Buddy joined your channel.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Not that I can think of.
Alrighty, Randall.
Do you have any questions to me?
Okay, you don't have any questions for CJ. You're good to go.
I didn't know who that was. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
he's really irrelevant. It's fine.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Have a good one.